Good morning. I'm here in my car because I'm not driving, though, so don't worry about that. But I wanted to tell you about my daughter and her driving habits. When we first got her a car, when she was a teenager, we got her the cheapest, slowest, most underpowered car we could because we noticed that she had two speeds, off and full speed ahead. And if we'd gotten her a really powerful car, she would have been on the other side of the world by now because she drove that fast, and she got some tickets and was in some accidents. And, well, she got a reputation for not being a good driver. Now, that was 16, 17 years ago. And it brought to mind the situation because it was shortly after that when she had gotten so many tickets that some of her friends began to think of her as a bad driver. And some that hadn't driven with her years later would refer to her, "Oh, huh, you're such a bad driver." I don't know when it was exactly, but she came to realize that she wasn't a bad driver anymore. It took a while, took some maturing, it took some thought on her part, but she became a pretty careful driver. Doesn't get tickets, doesn't run into things, and doesn't speed everywhere she goes. She used to be a bad driver, and now she's not. And that used to be part, I think, is important for all of us. Because I notice in my own life, there are things that I would like to be, used to be things for me. Habits that I have that aren't productive. Things that I do that aren't the most helpful. Things that I could work on to be used to be things. The used to be things are things that we think of in the testing community as well. Because there are plenty of people that will say, "Oh, it's such a hard test and I can't remember names." All those theories, I can't put them all together. All of those things I can't do. Now, I'm not going to minimize the fact that it is a difficult test. But what is it that we can make in our own lives to be used to be things? Used to be things. I used to be bad at names, and I worked on it, and now I'm not. Because those used to be things that you identify about yourself, those are the things that when you can put them in the past, can help you to succeed in the present. Those used to be things are the things that you can, well, turn into used to be things to make yourself able to pass the test now. So take a second and think about those things that you want now to be used to be things when you're talking months from now. "Oh, yes, I used to be bad at names, but now I'm not. I used to have a hard time keeping all of those things together in my mind, but now I'm not. But now I'm good at them. I used to be a bad driver, and now I'm a good driver." Took intentionality, took thought, took work. But it's a used to be thing for my daughter now. What used to be things do you have now that you want to talk about in the future as being things you used to do, but now you don't?